I realized that the best way to learn HTML5 is to use an online editor because it's more responsive to the changes in the code which reflected on this side here, the changes that follows the code. This is the image here. On the left and the right side will be this image of a mountain. Next to it I have 3 canvases. This is the main canvas. If you intend to write a game, I call it the game canvas. Then the sprites here would be like the monsters, but here we use boxes. I have 2 boxes here to represent the sprite, canvas ID 0 and 1. They are absolute. Absolute means you can position them anywhere on the screen in the HTML page. Going to clear canvas, you can see I reset back to the image picture. I remove the background if there's any background image. Then I clear from 0, 0 starting, 200 by 200. This is 200 by 200. I clear the rectangle. This is called the transform, and this is called the translate. What they normally do is they don't clear the canvas, they are just reposition back the canvas to its original position, starting from 0, 0, 200 and 200. This is the position of the canvas. If I were to have a color and I have a square, and then I use a translate, what it actually does is it shifted the entire canvas to this side here. I clear the rectangle 50 at 50, 50 coordinates x and y, left, top, the width and height to clear, which is here. This is the first coordinates, the first box I clear, and then I clear the next one on the at this coordinate x and y 80, 80, just below it, this box here. I clear it 40, 40, and see what happens when you do clear rectangle. It removes the color and becomes white. Then I translate the entire canvas or offset it by 50, 50, or you can call it I shift it or move the base canvas to a new coordinates by 50, 50 from here to here. Okay, this is the coordinates. Then I draw the image starting from 0, 0. I do a clipping 40, 40, and then I position it at these coordinates 50, 50, 40, 40. This is the coordinate of the blue box. And the next one is 100, 100. Also the size is square, 40, 40. 100, 100 is the green yellow box here. Translate is just to move the canvas, but you also need to move the images that you have just deleted from here. You have deleted the images and you have to redraw it back using this to draw. But if you have not deleted the images, you don't need this to draw. What happens now when I do a clear on the translate? Can you see? This is the canvas you have just shifted using translate. It shifted the whole canvas. But what if I use a transform? Transform is to reset back the canvas to its original position. If you look at this, I displace the y by 10. That's why you see the canvas will only come back to here. If I put 0 here and I run it again, if I use color, square, translate, and then I transform back, everything becomes back to position 0, 0. This is how you use translate, transform. So next, I draw a square, 2 squares here. I get image data. Just imagine if you are going to create a game and you want to remove this monster and position it here. This is the limitation of the canvas. Canvas is whatever you draw on it, sticks on it. There's no way difficult for you to remove. Get image data, gets the image at this coordinates 40 by 40, which is this box here. Then I do a clear. After that, it becomes white color background. Next, I put the image data at 10, 10, which is now at this coordinates here. The box I've just shifted to the top. Let's redo a hover. What happens when I click on the hover? Oh, this is so nice. Because when I shift the box, it's not clearing the background. What happens? To have something hover on top of the image, well, we use the Z index to signify that it is on top of another image, so that you can see it on the screen. And I shift it to 270. I'm just toggling here actually. You see it's 270 left, and then I have a top here, either 130 or 100. Why is it 130 and 100? The position of this box starts from here, the page, not from the canvas, because you set the position to absolute. So it starts from the page top, not the canvas top. And the next thing is, I have used the image element and I draw a square here. Then I do a get image data. It also took away the background. If in a game that you are developing, this is not what you want happen. If you have objects moving next side by side or on top of one another, you do not want that to delete the previous sprites. The next we will look at is the background image. This is quite interesting. What is the difference between the background image and the image element? If I use a background image and draw a square to get the image data, this is still the background is untouched. Let's take a look at the code. In this case, I use the background image to draw the mountain, and when I do that, anything that you clear or fill will not disturb the image. This is good for game. It looks so wonderful. But there's one problem. When you draw the background, imagine this position 10 pixel here. When I click on this, I will read the image of this pixel at position 1010. Only one pixel I will read back. And it says 0000. Why? Because canvas cannot read the background color using get image data. But if I were to have off canvas, it shows white color, and which is exactly this color here. The clouds is white and it shows white. How do you read this? The first is R, red, G, green, B is blue, and followed by alpha. Okay, can you see the difference? If you use image as a background, the canvas returns 0. If you use off canvas, it returns a value. To understand why, you have to go back here and see what the code does. This is the off canvas. Off canvas will have the same x and y, height and width of the original image. In the off canvas, I draw the image as an image, not as a background. Because if I do as a background, I will never read 255. Whatever you do here, the same coordinates that you touch on in the game, you will read the same coordinates in the off-screen canvas. Can you understand me? Yeah, I flip onto the right image and now I use a canvas to read the pixel color. The color now is 21. The color of this around here is 21. A little bit dark, so this color is 21. Okay, now I change it to this image element canvas become 255. Yeah, only if you use image to paint your canvas, you can read the color pixel. If you use it as a background, you cannot read the color pixel. The next, I will color it and then draw 2 squares. Then I move the squares to the top here and click on the read pixels. RG, this is the green and it stands for 128. It reads the color here as 128. Remove it, I don't want anything there, just a white piece of canvas. In case I have a background URL, I will remove the background here too. Then I create the rectangle 00200, set transform, one of them is skew and one of them is scale. This is scale or this is skew, yeah? Skew top left. Then we have a translate, reposition back the canvas to the original position. Next we have a function called draw. We have blue 00200, the first box, then the second box is pink, start from 100, 100. This is the box for this. For the next case, background is the mountain. Remember, you have set the picture to the background using background image. Draw is only for images which is non-background. This IMG background of the mountain is on the off-screen context. You will not see it on the screen. I create the rectangle. I set any background image empty because now I'm using the image. I don't want background image to mess with it. Just in case, can you see if I have a square here and when I do a dash, that's gone. If you don't want to clear the background image, if I just remove it, now I click on the background image, I draw a square and then I move it. Can you see? You now have a top image and a background image. So there are ways to use the canvas, depends on what you want to do with it. You can have a background and a top image overlay each other. You finish. Now that you know how to use canvas, you may want to do something like this. You may want to write a game in canvas. This is 10 monster. If I stop and I put 9 monster, and I start, there will be 9 monsters here. And I have shown the list here. This is the list of monster, and wherever they're looking is reflected in the maze. This is written in Vue.js. In my next video, I will show you how I write this game in Vue.js. This main maze is also in canvas. Interesting? You can speed up. If I want to speed this up, let me show you. Here I will change to 0 and then we compile it. There you have it. There's 10 monsters here at this speed of 0. Interesting. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.